One hell of a ride, one hell of a night, and the wind it howled, and the wind it moaned. Hell of the Northwest.
We are at Future Sound Studio in Longridge, and we have a Hell of the Northwest veteran with Mr. Fuzz. There's not many people that can be a veteran, to be honest. It's only happened a handful of times.
And I think I'm oldest finisher, aren't I?
Yeah, I think you are, yeah.
Whippersnappers.
Yeah. And then we have the myth and the legend that is John Rigby, who finished first on the non-race that is Hell of the Northwest this year on its second wet edition. So, John, I think, first of all, do you want to just introduce yourself and give a bit of background with your cycling experience?
Oh gosh. I've started riding when I was 21. That's the first time I jumped on a road bike, age 21. And straight away fell in love with road biking and just got stuck in. Joined St Helens CRC soon after that, and just doing club rides and local racing events. And then after I think 2 or 3 years, I then went on to Champion Systems race team and stayed with them for 8 years, road racing in UK and Ireland. And then when the team folded a few years back, just started riding and enjoying doing long rides and being out on the bike. So that's pretty much it. I've not gone on to anything big. I've not done any big races, but
No.
just stayed nice and local.
So, what's your previous super long distance riding experience for you to come and take on an event like Hell of the Northwest?
Nothing like Hell of the Northwest. It's always been much shorter, just riding for fun, really.
Right.
Plenty rides over 100 miles with maybe only 5 or 6 over 200 miles, but nothing to this extent. I've not done any ultra events.
No.
The nearest would have been the Bowl and Badass, which
Right.
is 166 miles.
Yeah.
I think, was it 18,000 feet of climbing, but
Yeah.
completely different.
That was
to
a
the Hell.
training ride for Hell of the Northwest.
It's a warm-up
Yeah.
in comparison.
Right. I think the next question, and I'm going to let both of you answer it because somebody's already experienced Hell twice, and then you entered for the 2020 event anyway, but why Hell of the Northwest?
I have no idea. It's Ellen mentioned it.
That's Ellen Isherwood for those that don't know. She's given me all the photos she's taken of you, so we will be scattering them around actually whilst we're talking to you and just pushing them in. But yeah, she's a race photographer.
It was Ellen that mentioned it. She said it sounds like something right down your street. So she knows I like going off on a ride all day,
Right.
as well as racing. It's just nice to disappear for a day. But she said it seems something you'd be interested in. So I had a look, and I thought, go on, I'll give it a go. On paper, it looks okay. But
Yeah.
the climbing made it sound a lot tougher than just the distance on
Yeah.
its own. But yeah, I thought, go on, give it a go.
Cool. And Fuzz,
Yeah,
why did you come back?
because I just loved it. I loved it first time round. I loved it up until scratching the first time, and then DIY'd it 2 weeks later because I had to do it. I couldn't drink out my cup that I'd bought until I'd finished it. You know what I mean? And again, similar to John, distance-wise, I think I've told you before, distance-wise, I didn't think it'd be a problem. I knew the climbing would just be an absolute beast. It'd just be evil. So, you know, and that you enter these things to test yourself, don't you? Yeah. What can I do? What can I put up with?
A challenge isn't a challenge. A challenge is only a challenge if finishing isn't a certainty.
Yeah, and next year I'll be entering again.
Yeah.
Because I just enjoyed it. You know, and there's not many things I'll do more than once, but it's a proper test.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and I didn't finish it this time. I'm still thinking about DIYing it at some point this year. You know what I mean? Just
get your second badge.
Yeah, just because I was a bit upset at having to scratch this time. So.
Yeah. So it was a bit wet.
Well, this is one of the things I've got to ask John, you see, because I remember you distinctly saying when we got back to the palace and everyone was going, "Oh, that weather were evil," and you like went, "Oh, I didn't really get caught in that bad of weather." You know, it was like biblical where I was at times. And I know a few other, like Joe France and stuff, had said he'd never ridden out like it, you know. But you outran the weather. You know what I mean? You were going quicker than the weather, you know.
It did sound like it from what other people were saying, especially on the Saturday and Sunday as well. They kept getting caught in rain, but I didn't. It was probably 9 o'clock Friday evening that it dried up for me.
Yeah, well,
I was in glorious sunshine Saturday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And like I say, you know, you don't expect it in the middle of May for one. You know what I mean?
No.
Weather like that. I mean, you half expect it last year, September, October.
But I was actually hoping by pushing it back a month that you guys would actually be having a nicer experience because you had a month more training and you were going to potentially miss the April showers. So as an organiser, I thought, I'm doing you guys a beautiful favour here, guys. You know, you should be thanking me.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking leading up to it. It's going to be brilliant
beautiful.
sunshine,
Lovely
shorts and
weekend.
jersey.
Get a bit of short tan and a bit of jersey tan.
Yeah.
But no.
No. It was a bit mildly
Unless you're
moist.
John and you can outrun the weather, and then you're all right.
No, I still suffered with the cold.
No, there is a photo of you at North Pennine Cycles, isn't there? Shivering there. In fact, you were so cold you forgot to check in.
Yes.
And you were getting a bit worried about it.
Yeah.
So, and it was a bit cold on top of Hartside, I believe you said.
Yeah, it was -2 going over the top. It was so cold up there.
So, the other thing I want to go on to, I think, following the weather, is kit. Because you weren't to the extreme of team forgot their bags of 2020. You may have learnt their lesson, but what did you actually pack?
Other than what I was wearing, I had some gloves just in case and an emergency rain cape, so a good waterproof to put over the top. But because the weather was bad when I set off, I just put everything on. So I did wear a lot of kit. I had a long sleeve short under vest, a jersey, a fleece jersey, a gabba, a gilet. Yeah, that's what I had on top, and then just shorts and leg warmers, overshoes.
Do you not have a bivvy or all that? Bag?
I had an emergency bivvy.
Yeah,
just
one of them
foil bags. Yeah,
30-gram jobs in stuffed in bottom of the bag. Yeah.
Do you believe that was how you managed to finish by packing so light? Yes, as yourself on reflection of the event, just for yourself as a rider there, not comparing yourself to anyone else.
Yeah, I think preparing before the event, because I spent ages on Google Earth, on Google Maps, trying to find places that would be best to stop. So I've got somewhere dry, somewhere warm to stop, and marking out all the places that could stop for food and water. So I had no intention of carrying lots of food because you're never far away from a shop over here. You're not.
There were some fairly bleak bits like between Keswick and Eskdale, and then if you miss Eskdale and Gosforth, you've then got to wait till at least Hawkshead or Ambleside, even if Hawkshead is shut. So there were some fairly bleak, but yeah, you're right. You can stock up in Keswick to have enough food to carry you through that long stretch.
Yeah, there's plenty of shops about, so I wasn't too fussed about carrying lots of water or lots of food, so I could just carry the minimum there really. And then kit wise, because I was planning on stopping somewhere dry, I didn't need a tent and big bivvy and lots of stuff to wrap up in.
Where did you sleep for the night?
My plan was to stop on the Friday night. So my idea was I could get a 200-mile ride in, stop, recover, and then the rest of it then, because I'm heading home, mentally I thought it'd be a lot easier then to just keep going and going until I'm back. So wanting to stop somewhere when it's dark, because that's when you go to sleep, but not too late that I'm into the lakes too far. So my idea was, if I stop somewhere around Keswick, if I arrive there before I'm planning, I can go and do Hornister, Newlands, drop down into Braithwaite, and it's just a mile back to Keswick then.
Yeah.
So if I'm there early, I can do a loop. If I'm there late, it doesn't matter. I'm still stopping somewhere. I've still got a target.
Casually doing a loop.
I'll
just do a loop and Hornister and Newlands Pass.
Chuck an extra 50k in or something. Yeah, it's alright.
But no, that's...
Because that was one of my questions about your planning. You know what I mean? Did you have like a plan of, I want to be riding at a certain pace, or I want to be, there's certain places where I've, like you just said, you've earmarked to stop, like, you know, because I had a plan, and I think most people have a plan, but a lot of the time, once you set off and the weather starts getting shit and all that, and you know, you might have a puncture, a mechanical or something, your plan goes out the window, and you just like, I'm winging it now. You know, and that can play with your mind. It didn't with me the first time I did it. You know what I mean? My plan went to shit, and you know, I ended up scratching because I couldn't think straight. You know.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, you know, did he have a plan? What, you know? Because you see, when you got back that Sunday, you just seemed so blasé. Blasé is too like strong a word, but you just seem so comfortable and. Like, that with no stress, you know, and everyone else is like this. I mean, I zoomed in on a picture of myself and I'm looking like death, you know, and you're there and you just look fresh as a daisy. I think, how you know? So did you have a pace that you were, you know?
Yeah, I had a pace, but not to watch on my Garmin. I didn't think, right I'm going to hit 15, 16 mile an hour, whatever. I'm going to try and hold that. I just, to be honest, my only target was to get to Keswick before the pizza shop shut.
That was it.
That was it.
Brilliant.
So as long as I made that.
Your bike choice, I think, is worth talking about here.
Yeah,
just talking about pace.
Yeah.
I'll let you take.
Well, it's another one of my questions, because did you put different gearing on to cope with climbs, or is that just a bike that you just ride all the time and you just left it as, because, and what were you gearing and stuff like that? Because I know it was one of the shark bikes, wasn't it? Was it?
No, it's just before the shark ones. It's a base.
Right. So it's a nice lightweight race bike.
Yeah.
So, and you didn't make any adjustments for riding mileage, just keep it.
No,
an 11.25 on back and a 54.38.
No, it wasn't quite that bad. I did have a 20.28 on the back. 11.28, but I did have I put a semi-compact on. I've raced with semi-compact for quite a few years.
What chain rings are them then?
It's 52.36. 52.36.
Oh dear. And
so 36.28. Yeah. Now my other question is that, and I think I'll cut to an image of you and your bike here, but it appears that it is set up for racing, because that stem looks slammed and looks like it's got its own postcode. What? I tell you what, why don't you talk us through your actual bike?
It's an old race frame. It is probably 8 years old now, that one. But I've had quite two bikes since then, so it's just been on a shelf, just hooked up for.
You just thought I'd just take it down for hell,
Just for the hell of it.
And when I decided to start riding again this year, the easiest bike to put together to get back on the road was that one.
Right.
Because my others, I'd taken bits off, or I needed to do repairs on them.
Yeah.
On my current race bike, I needed to do quite a bit, so I thought I'll just get that down. It's a nice comfortable frame because it's got a really big steerer, big head tube. So it is higher anyway, that's why it does look really slammed.
Yeah.
Because it is such a big...
It did look slammed.
No, last time it was like a race bike. I mean, look, my seat's same height as my handlebars on mine.
I suppose if that's what you're used to riding, you will feel the most comfortable, actually riding as you are riding.
It's one I've probably ridden the most. I've probably done 20,000. Well, I think I've done over 20,000 miles on that bike.
Yeah.
So
you dialed in on it, right?
Yeah, comfortable. Yeah.
So can you hold race pause on bike for the whole ride?
Yeah.
Another question: do you get hard at saddle when you climb, or are you seated? I have a vision of you being hard at saddle. I don't know why, but
if it's a power drag, I'll stay seated. Something like going up to Ribblehead Viaduct, that sort of thing. Just stay seated all the way up. But some of the steep ones in the lakes, you can't do anything but get
no, because you're popping wheelies, aren't you, if you sat down, and that's no good.
No.
So because like I say, I just had visions. I'm thinking, no, you can't stay seated. You know what I mean? I just think you're heightened it because you're a tall fella, aren't you? You know what I mean? I think you can't. That will put a lot of strain on your back. You know what I mean? And it just seemed like, because I'm not near as tall as yourself, but if I'm seated, like on anything tipping over like 7-8%, I start feeling it really bad at my back and me, So I thought, no, surely you can't stay seated and just spin it. Are you a spinner?
Yeah.
Or are you a grinder?
Always been a spinner, but I think I'm starting to grind a bit now.
Comes with age, that, I tell you. I'm like that now. I'll be in a gear, I'll look down and I just think I can't be arsed changing, I just get out of the saddle and grind it for a bit, But yeah, I mean that gearing, 36, 28 on Honey, I can't get my head around 36, 28 on Honesty.
Did you clear hard knot?
Yes. I didn't have to walk, get off.
So
well, I didn't have to get off, but I'm riding like a 46, 34 or something like that. I think it's a 32. My small ring on that. I mean, it does weigh about 3 tons, but
What's your attitude towards climb? Do you enjoy climbing?
Yeah, I always enjoy climbing. I'll not avoid hills.
Yeah.
No, I believe you live near Parbold Hill, actually.
Yeah, there's Beacon, Parbold Hill.
Yeah.
Rivington's not too far away.
No, I was actually asked by somebody at work, is it Ashurst, right?
Ashurst Beacon.
Ashurst Beacon. They said, how many Ashurst Beacons is held the Northwest? That's a question.
Oh, all right.
Well,
I've got a bit of a story actually. Would it have been 2 weeks after Hell of the Northwest? Mike, that came to the end of the end with me.
You chaperone to make sure you actually find your way home.
Yeah.
Have we actually discussed the fact that you rode towards? You did an ECE in Audax terms, which is extended control. Or you actually rode from Wigan to Longridge. You did Hell of the Northwest, and then you cycled from Longridge back home to Wigan. Yeah. And you had a chaperone just to make sure you get home safe.
I think it's just so you didn't add any extra on.
Yeah. This is a gentleman that chaperoned you back home.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, it was good to have on the way back because I definitely wasn't in a good place on the way back. I was suffering. The heavens opened on us again. It was rough coming back. But
I wonder why.
And my back had gone. With stopping and then straightening up and having some time off the bike, my back just completely gave way. It was
Well, that was another thing I was going to ask about on the ride. Like when you stopped, you know, how long did you stop for, and how were you after you'd stopped? Because I know after I've stopped, I've got to spend about 20 minutes like stretching and warming up and making sure I'm functioning. You know.
No, I wasn't too bad at all. Because the only real stop I had was in Keswick. That was for 4 hours, where I got an hour and a half sleep, and then it was straight up Honister, which was a shock. I've never been up.
Have you never been up it from that side?
I've never been over those. No.
Have you never done any of those legs?
No, they're too far from home. I've only ever managed to do hard knot rhinos, and then have to go back.
No way.
It's too far to ride out.
How did you find the Lake District then?
Um,
Well, shall we break it down actually into the sections, and then because
yeah.
you can join in through. Well, you've done all of the ride anyway, haven't you? But obviously in the opposite direction.
Yeah, and I've done Fred Whitton a few times, which was the way that we did it this year.
So I know obviously you've probably ridden all the Bowland climbs.
Yeah,
we go straight out over Jeffrey and then across the Great, and then straight through into basically the Pennines, then, don't we? But like, how did you find the difference in terrain and the different areas that you kind of rode?
For me, Bowland, because I know them all. I know all the roads. It was just like a training ride for me, because even on descents, well, you don't realise it really, but you know where potholes are and you know the best line through, and it was just really, it felt like it just zipped through dead quick. And then, so I know all those roads and I do always enjoy them. And then it was after Reeth then, that was all new for me. I'd say North Pennines, that was a really nice area. the way the weather was, it all closed in and you didn't really get to see the scenery.
No.
But the climb, just thinking about the climbs themselves, they were really good climbs, despite the full-on headwind and the weather.
St John's Chapel.
Oh, that's brilliant.
But going the other way, the way they did it last year, was the hardest climb I've ever done in my life. I've never done anything like it.
I could hear him swearing.
honestly, it was. I was like Caleb Ewan sprinting, and I was seated. Because I couldn't sit up, the wind was blowing me. I couldn't get out of the saddle, I'd have been off. It was pitch black, pouring down with rain, and you couldn't sit top. And I'm just like, this is just going on forever. And it was just hell. It was hell. And then this time I did it, it was just fog. I couldn't see the side of the road. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa.
There's a strong headwind there as well. It's
just
slow
pummeling
going.
you. So
it's down under 10 mile an hour up those. Well, probably 5.
Well, I was less than that. I might have got off and walked and it would have been a lot quicker. but yeah, so that was, he enjoyed that section. Said outside, I enjoyed outside this time because I didn't really even feel like I was climbing this way. It was lovely up there. But then at Honister then, so you'd never done Honister.
No, never.
You'd never seen it or all like that.
No.
So you come through those little houses and you thought, oh, this is alright.
Yeah, just
and then it went.
Yeah,
it is. It's quite steep.
Yeah.
Jamie for training in March, Everest did Honister on that side.
Wow.
Did she?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's
Don't
wrong.
fancy that.
It's just wrong. That is
punishment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Her WhatsApp profile picture is her carrying an Atlas stone, so.
Alright, that's why she does it.
Enough said.
A proper wrong.
Enough said.
She still owes me chips.
Well, you can tell her.
Still owe me chips, missus. Yeah.
It is relentless. There's nowhere to sit down and recover a bit. It's just all the way to the top, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Newlands is.
I think that's a beautiful side from the bottom here. It's a nice cutting up. It's steeper than you want it to be, but it is a nice climb.
Yeah, did that pretty much seated, whereas Honister was out the saddle, just getting over the rev each time. But Newlands, that was
No, well, it's funny because that's the only way. Whenever I've done the Fredway, it's always Newlands that I've found most difficult out of all. Hard knot, rhinos, Newlands just freaks me out a bit for some. I don't know why, but it just does. But you found it nice.
Yeah, it's okay. It ramps at the very top.
Windlatter's beautiful. It's a nice descent. There's not much of a climb that side, but the descent is really nice.
It feels more like not main road, but it's wide, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's more...
It's a bit of a sit-down honking climb as well.
It's as steady as you go, innit? You can just get a little tempo going. It's pretty steady gradients all the way, and so you just smashed it up Windlatter a bit.
No, I did not. No, I don't know what happened, but something caught up with me there. Now I was basically falling asleep on the bike.
Yeah,
I couldn't keep my eyes open going up there. I was going so slow.
So did you ever get just going aside from climbs? Did you ever get them moments where
sleepy monster?
The man with the hammer comes and gives you a good smacking, like you get a hunger flatter, or you like for an hour or so you might feel like you're just riding through treacle and your head's saying, "Why did I sign up for this? What am I doing?" Did you ever have any of them moments, or
not what am I doing and why am I here moments? No, but falling asleep on the bike. Yeah, dropping down the other side of Windlatter. I was starting to think I better stop here. I need to stop.
Yeah. Did you?
I'm gonna come off because my eyes were just going black all the time.
No way.
I don't know what hit me.
Yeah.
But just that.
What time was it? Can you remember?
It would have been by then 6 a.m.
Right.
Because I would have set off.
It's like a witching hour kind of tiredness. Yeah.
So I would have set off from Keswick just around 5, before 5.
Yeah, so you've just managed to do Honister and Newland, and now you're descending in the space of an hour.
Yeah.
It's down the other side of Windlatter. There's is it High Lort and Low Lort?
Yeah.
I was riding round to the houses there to see if anyone was there, so I could get my head down. Any open doors, any bus shelters, anything, so I could get my head down. So it just hit me. I don't know what went on.
Yeah.
But after that, it's a fairly flat section all the way.
Yeah, until you got the climb that you don't expect.
Yeah.
It's a climb, and you're like, I didn't expect this small climb to be a big climb, but here it is. I can't remember the name of the pass now as well, but there's a really nasty one.
Not Coalfell. I love Coalfell.
Coalfell, yeah. Coalfell. You just don't expect it to be a significant climb, because I know on the Cumbrian 200 Audax it's on there, and you don't expect this climb. You don't expect it to be as nasty as it is, if you know what I mean. And it's just there.
There's one, I can't remember which one it was. It's coming out at Lakes, and I got cursing you last year doing it, because it's just a little single track. We descended it this time. It's a little single track. It's really steep, and you come out almost onto the main road.
Oh, the one Grisdale coming into Hawkshead?
No, I don't think so.
That's a really nasty skinny climb.
But the climb up to it this time, it was lovely. You're like through like woods almost.
Yeah, see Grisdale Forest.
But yeah, the descent last year going up that was.
Yeah, you're coming out of Hawkshead, aren't you? And then you turn right. Yeah, really, it is a nasty one.
Yeah. So you got to Honister. Hard not feeling fresh as a daisy then.
No. By that point, I'd caught up with where everyone else was, and to me it looked like people were 4 or 5 hours ahead of me.
Right.
So I thought, just forget trying to
because
press on.
They rode through the night because Jamie and Bradley would have been ahead of you, and I think Brett carried on riding through. But on the other side of that, there was a lot of people on the wrong side of the Pennines at that point, and everybody that was on the Pennine side rather than on the lake side didn't finish the ride.
Well, I was just when you 6 o'clock in the morning then, and you're descending Windlatter. I'm led on a pub flooring. Other side of that, the
feet
moors.
Against the fire.
Well, yeah, pretty much. Other side of the bike shop. There's those moors, you have to go across those moors, didn't you? And I was still there when you were going up bloody Windlatter. you know. So yeah,
Well fed.
that's
weren't
how.
you?
Well, it was. I got potato and leek soup all made and everything. It was wicked. I wasn't messed though when I got there. My head in bits, but that's beside the point. So I'd not. How did you? So you've done all before, haven't you? So you
I've
know
done
what
it
to expect. Like,
twice before.
Yeah.
So I knew what it was like, and by that point, because people were way ahead, and I thought, just enjoy the lakes now. Just don't try and press on or anything. Just
Did you enjoy the lakes?
Yeah, I really enjoyed the lakes.
Yeah. Was it a
Nice
nice
day, that.
alternative route through the lakes, would you say? The way did you kind of expect it to kind of do what it did? And like when you turn right after Hard Knot, you don't have to do rhinos?
No, I thought we'd be going over rhinos. When I first saw the route, I thought he'd be sending us over there as well.
Yeah. Did you like that road instead?
Yes.
Yeah, because there's another climb, isn't there, just after Hard Knot that there was just sheep everywhere when I was doing it. And again, you don't expect it to be there.
It was steep as well.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, well, where's this come from?
And the crazy downhill into Trover
Yes.
onto the main road.
Yeah, so that was so Hard Knot was just. I take it as well with your racing background that not only do you fly going up, do you descend like a madman?
Not.
No, I keep looking at me. He's like, well, say no, but really, yeah, I do.
My brother can descend like a nutter. He's like a stone, but
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I enjoy going down as well.
So how do you find that descent off Hard Knot from that? Because I'm like that, just on brakes, like.
You skip in the back end right as you're going down.
Yeah,
it's good.
Good.
Bumpy.
It's not good. It's bad.
I do remember hearing from Brett at the finish after you were there, and he said that he's very handy because he used to race motorbikes, so he knows. But he said that every time he was trying to follow you through the Pennines going downhill, on every single bend you were gaining about 15 yards on it, just so when you actually whip your bike around a corner. Which possibly might be why you managed to get such a good time, because you've just a naturally fast bike handler at the same time. Do you think that might be part of it as well?
Yeah, probably being on a race bike as well, and not having as much equipment. He still had quite a few bags on, I think.
Yeah.
Tri-bars on. I don't know. They'll affect the handling a little bit, won't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I mean, I was amazed because after talking to Dan and Rob Gardner afterwards, and I was just asking Rob and Dan that, how can I make my bike lighter, because it does weigh a ton, you know. And Rob said, like, he said, well, aero boys for a start. He said, what are you doing with them on, like, this ride was just done. It is a crazy
hilly event.
Yeah, there's not much need for it, but as soon as I get, it's almost habit now. As soon as I get on a flat bit of road, I go, you know what I mean? So I've just kept them on. But then when I got home and I cleaned it back, I took them off and I weighed them. They weighed 2 kilos. And I'm thinking,
dragging that around.
What? So I've took them off now. Because that just mashed me head. I thought,
to be honest though, since watching you guys ride, I've actually trained myself to sit in the drops a lot more on the flats. Just to kind of get in the habit for really hilly rides, not to want to put TT belts on, and actually still keep as aero as you can, on the flat bits. And
my mate said I should get some flared ones because it would just give my hands a little bit of a different position to put them in.
Yeah.
Because I do struggle. Do you struggle with any pain in your hands or like over the ride? No.
They were sore after the ride though, weren't they?
They've gone numb.
Yeah.
They still are.
Yeah,
I've done
just the nerve damage, like fingertips and stuff. Yeah, that'll take.
Left hand.
Some Audax guy told me
Clamp
because he had like double bar tape. He had 2 pair of gloves. He had because it was the first time I asked about TT boys, and he said he'd got nerve damage. I think he was doing Paris, and it took him 4 months to get feeling back in his fingers just from the nerve damage, just from the road buzz. So you're still.
They're not smooth roads either.
No, they are.
No. Yeah. What size tyres did you have on?
25.
25s.
Yeah. 80 psi though.
Oh well.
Yeah.
35s, John. And I can't go lower than 28s nowadays because just the comfort wise. Again, I think it's an age thing. When you get older, you just want more comfort. Whereas
So, so after the lakes, you had the Eden Valley. Well, you had Kirkstone Pass first under struggle.
Yeah. Oh, actually, before that, going up to Hawkshead,
Yes.
Yeah.
and there's one of the riders, someone they knew, put the hose pipe out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, Yasmin's friend.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was a welcome break, filling the bottles up, and then as I set off, it sounded like something stuck to my tyre. Chuff, chuff, chuff noise.
Right.
I thought, I know what this is now. So I stopped, pulled over, the inner tube stuck out the sidewall, and the tyre had split just above the bead, about
Right.
100 mil. There's a big piece of tube sticking out. So I let the tyre down as I put my thumb on the valve, it went bang. So there's this great split in the side of the tyre. So I rolled up a bit further because it wasn't very wide where it stopped. So rolled up a bit further, and what I had to do, I put a £20 note lengthways on a new tube, rolled it around it, and then put one the other way around, put it back in, and blew it up. So there's a section where the £20 notes are. They weren't blown up onto the tyre. So the tyre was baggy there.
Yeah.
But that was enough to get me down into Keswick. So then,
Ambleside, you mean?
sorry, Ambleside, yeah.
Mm.
And then I pulled. There's a bike shop there. They said
Hillside. Yeah.
Yeah, they said they knew you. They said.
Yeah. Well, they were a checkpoint on the last year's event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they said, "Oh, are you on the Hell of the Northwest?" I said, yeah. So I got a tyre from them.
Massive shout out to Kevin at Gillside Cycles there.
So he sorted me out, and then straight up struggle then from there, isn't it?
Yeah. Was that a struggle?
I quite enjoyed it, mate. But I did it in pitch black, so I didn't know what was going on. So it was because I've never done the struggle before.
No, that was the first one.
Yeah,
as well.
I've done Kirkston both sides, but never the struggle. But yeah, I enjoyed it. But you'll have been going mid-afternoon, I would imagine.
Yeah, it would have been 1:30 to 2 o'clock.
Yeah, because I think all of you were in Ambleside at the same time at one point. You, Brett, Jamie, and Brad. And I think there was another guy who ended up bailing with a mechanical who he bailed in Pooley Bridge. But I think quite a few of you, but I don't think you realise because you're all at different cafes in Ambleside on the same event at the same time. And it's at that point I realised we need trackers because you would have all...
Yeah, they've all been going like, where is everyone?
Yeah.
I think I was last. I think I was last into Ambleside.
Yeah.
So when I got to the bike shop, they said a fella had just been in charging all his stuff. He'd spent an hour or so.
Right.
Just nipped to the cafe whilst his stuff was charging.
Oh,
So that was Brett.
Yes. Right. Yeah.
So I by then I knew that I was probably only an hour and a half behind Brett at that point.
And that's the halfway point is Ambleside as well.
Yes. Yeah. And the guy that had the mechanical, I've been yo-yoing with him for 2 or 3 hours.
Right. Not that it's a race.
No.
Legal reasons, I just say that, but yeah.
You can't help it though, can
No.
you? Especially if you're a racer, a born racer, you're going to be like, I'm going to smash it. But yeah, a stretch from Kirkston through to Putty, I quite like that. Was another nice flat bit when I got up to a decent head of steam up going down there, like, at night.
Yeah, my head was still not in the right place. There was something missing. Either I hadn't eaten something. There's just something missing. But usually I crave what I'm missing.
Right.
But I wasn't. So I didn't know what I needed.
We'll get to the eating.
Yeah.
I think, yes, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Soon. But yeah, let's break the ride. So you didn't mind that flat bit, but you were not 100%.
No, I just couldn't get the power down. My legs didn't feel right. I should have been able to get my head down and press on and all the way to Pooley Bridge because it's nice flat stretch.
Yeah. But it's about 9 miles, something like that. Is it?
It's pretty pan flat, isn't it?
Because like I say, I think that was quickest I was on the entire ride, even including descents with that flat bit.
You just feel like you're carrying your speed from downhill forever on that road, don't you?
Yeah, it was just going, and it was cool as well because we're right next to lake and stuff, and when I was riding, it was just nice, just perfect, pitch black, but perfect.
And it's a beautiful descent as well.
Yeah. So,
such a nice descent off Kirkstone Pass.
So what's next climb after that?
Tan Hill.
Is it up to Tan Hill? Well, that's a bugger, isn't it, from Kirby Stephen? That's the one that I've not done that I was upset about missing.
It's a frustrating climb because it's got lots of ramps on it and it never seems to end. And then you get these like little false flats where you think you're cresting the hill, and then you got a downhill, and then you got this next like ramp, and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, where is the summit?
And on the map it looks like it's a straight road up.
Yeah.
Oh no, it wiggles and winds its way up. Yeah.
You end up turning to come back at, I don't know, it feels like such a long road.
Yeah.
Really long.
But at least that, you know when you get sarcastic cars going up to say, no, there's a pub at the top. At least they're right this time.
Yeah, but again, over at Moors there, it would have been nice on Saturday afternoon, I presume, going over the top there.
Was it not night time? Or was it getting dark?
Sunset over the top of the moors. I can't remember that. It's a fairly long climb up, and it opens out onto the moors.
Yeah.
That was sunset. I slowed down and took a few minutes up there because it's just
there was
really
a
nice
photo,
sky.
I think, of Brad with Jamie catching her up, and they were around the same time on Tan Hill there. So I bet again you guys were all fairly close, and you just didn't really realise it.
No.
You know, which in a way I kind of like not having trackers for this reason, but I still think that all the riders need trackers.
It'll give it an extra little bit of a buzz, I think.
Yeah,
social media wise and stuff like that.
People following you guys and everything, absolutely.
Because I have my spot tracker on, and my dad sits there religiously and then grills me when I come back. Why did you stop there for 15 minutes? Why did you stop there? You know, so I think from that side of things, I think it'll blow the race up a bit more in terms of the public, like, you know, the race. Because people will be watching, you know, and I think it would be more of a buzz. Because I know if I wasn't riding it, I'd be, you know, because I do like, I'd go watch Joe round Pan Celtic race. I did two times a day. I'd stop what I was doing to check where Joe was. so I'd be doing. And again, it's something that going forward, are you going to do more races like that? More rides?
I think so. I've been looking out for something, but
has it got to be something that really tickles your fancy, like not just doing it for the sake of a long ride? Like
I've looked at a few, but I don't want to spend £500-600 and travelling and all the rest of it. I like how this was local. Bull and Badass was local. I know it's the same, but I just.
Would you enter this again next year?
Yes. Yeah. I think I will, because it's going to feel like a different event going the other way around.
Well, the first time round was the harder way, John. You know, you didn't do it the easy way.
When you do it the other way around, we've not got to this point on the map yet, but it has Foxholes Road when it goes the other way around. Yeah. Look at that smile.
I was up there on Sunday.
Oh yeah. It's ace, isn't it? I love first time I went up that, I said to Dad, I was like, wow, I'm cursing you, but I was like, this is fantastic. This is so rude.
I think that's when the Southerners suddenly realise they're on a Northern event and they climb something like Foxholes Road, really, and they're like, oh, this is Northern climbing, is it? It's rough roads, it's steep, and it's just rude.
That's what my mates who've come up and ridden up here with me have all said about the quality of the roads. They said they're just disgusting.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
But you're used to it, aren't you, when you're riding them all the time, you know, but they were just moan all day long. You mean how bad they are.
So you entered the Yorkshire Dales after the Pennines from Tan Hill.
Yeah,
you do like Malham Moor.
So that's back onto familiar roads for me then, from Reeth back.
Yeah, I am really sorry about Malham Moor, by the way, genuinely, hand on heart. It's
I quite like that, mate.
Yeah, I like the gates.
It's nice, isn't it?
There's after Wreath, there's that.
that's where you do. That's where you rejoin the figure of 8, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Before you-
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the first proper climb you get onto, then it's steep and it does feel like it goes on for a long time.
Mm.
And then over the top, there's sharp S-bends down to a river. And last time I did the first time I did that descent, there's a farm with a over just on the other side of the bridge, and they closed the gate, so I come in flying down this descent, come round a sharp corner, and there's a gate right there. Just anchor up for this gate. So I was careful.
Yeah, what's mindful of it this time, yeah.
In the dark as well.
Yeah.
I basically stopped, and there's the gate there.
Yeah.
That's okay, Karen.
How was your head by that time?
I was fine.
You settled down a bit?
Yeah, I'd recovered, and my head was back on it after probably Shap.
Yeah.
I just came round, and from Shap all the way through, then it was just.
Do you reckon that's just a familiar landmark almost when you get to Shap and you're just like, I know exactly where I am?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. Once I know, well, all the lakes, all the climbing is done in a way.
Which is what?
It's there's like that 100k through lakes and that where it's just it's going to be hard work, but then like you say after that it's all even though there's plenty of climbing to do, in the back of your mind you're like, well, that's done, that's boxed off. It's
well, the
easy
two hardest bits are done there, isn't it? Because you've done the Pennines, which is like the roof of the north almost, really, isn't it? And then the lakes, which is just it's just physically just draining. I think the lakes, you know, like there's quite a few from the south that said that they did the lakes and they're just like, it is just so difficult. There's no flowing roads at all. It is just relentless. So
up, down, or just like that, innit? You know, it's.
But you can't carry any speed.
No.
And if you hit, most of the climbs in the lakes, you hit and you just stop.
Well, that's it. You got it, because a couple of times I were in wrong gear. You know, again, just stupidity. Just like cruising along miles away and wrong gear, and then you get to the bottom, it's like, and then I'm crunchy, you know, and hoping my chain's not going to snap, you know. And I'd struggle getting into little rings sometimes on front with that, so it's a nightmare. But anyway, back to you, John.
And then
Malham. After that
Malham
road
Moor,
down
and then
through
it's
towards.
Bolton Abbey after Malham Moor, which is the second last check-in point, which you checked in first, didn't you?
Yes.
But you snuck under my radar when I woke up that morning, and I didn't actually see your check-in. So
Did you sleep?
A little bit. Honestly, I was waking up every other hour, checking you guys were all right, and there was no SOSs coming through. Especially in that, I don't think I slept the first night at all. Just literally, I had my phone making a noise, just because the weather was that horrific. Because I was going to be going out filming you guys, but I thought the weather's that bad, I need to be where I've got signal, just in case you guys need help.
No SOSs, but lots of FUs.
Lots of FU downs.
Yeah.
But no, you got Bolton Abbey, which is second to last.
Yeah, well, going over Malham, started seeing bike tyre tracks where the water had run across the road. There's a dry patch. I could see the 3 bikes ahead of me. I thought,
Right.
I'm not far behind now.
Yeah.
Crosshairs. Get you ready.
But at this point, Brett had slept already. I think he slept a bit further after you slept, didn't he?
It stopped.
I can't remember where Brett had slept.
But he did stop in it just before Kettlewell.
Yeah.
Because he was in. There's a nativity with a donkey. Before Brett was in there with the donkey. In the middle of May, Brett was sleeping in a nativity scene. Yeah, with the donkey.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah. No, he just packed up when I got there.
Right.
He was modelling with his backlight and he couldn't get it to switch on.
Right.
I just stopped to see if he's okay, but it started to rain. So before he could say, no, I'm about, my lights are dead, I said, I'm going to press on, I'm not getting cold again.
Yeah.
So
And then Jamie and Brad had to have their mandatory rest, which actually, even though they were cursing me about it, they said they don't think they could have finished without that rest, because they hadn't stopped riding since the beginning. So secretly they weren't cursing me as much as they make out, I don't think.
they must. I think had they stopped before?
No, apart from to get food and stuff, they'd been riding all the way through. Yeah.
Their tracks disappeared on Malham Mall. I couldn't work out where they'd stopped.
Right. It was no, I think it's the toilets maybe at Malham.
Yeah.
They stopped at. Brad was sat on the toilet.
Yeah,
And Jamie was under the hair dryer.
And under the thing, keep it going, wouldn't it?
She forgot her down jacket and she was freezing. Yeah.
Well, again, out there it's exposed and that you don't want to get cold.
No. Hence the minimum kit getting upgraded since the first time, with emergency shelter and stuff.
Well, you got to thank the team. Forgot your bags for that.
I am.
You know what I mean?
Always learning. And then you've got the only bit on the course, I think, where people actually said they weren't too happy about it, but there's no way around it, which is, why is the name? Keighley.
I love Keighley, mate.
Indeed, I think you're the only one that does.
I love Keighley.
I think it was just a rude awakening of all the traffic after being on pretty much exposed roads and A road, like not even B roads, half of them were C roads, weren't they? For that length of time, then suddenly having to just go through this busy, crazy town.
It was quiet when I went through. It's just sunrise, I think, when I was going through Keighley. But it would have been maybe 5:30-ish, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so on a Sunday, so it'd only be the paper boy that you would have seen.
Yeah, and it is a long drag after Keighley as well.
Yeah.
Do you remember? You would have gone down that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I did it the other way. Yeah, it is. But I quite enjoyed that.
I don't mind the road, because Haworth's secretly my favourite place to cycle to. And the road between Haworth and Hebden Bridge is my favourite road in the whole wide world.
Yeah, that climb from Hebden Bridge side last year was my favourite.
Yeah, and it's a nice downhill as well. Yeah.
It's quite a big it's an A road, isn't it, over the top there?
Yeah, but no cars can overtake you because the speed you can be going at.
Yeah.
You can go a lot faster than a car going down there. Yeah. And then the only big climb after that really is the Todd Baycup climb.
Is it?
The one past the observatory.
Yeah, is it Cole Road? Is it?
You've already said Cole Road once.
No, Cole Clough or something like Clough. It's something like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
From Todmorden over to Baycup,
yeah.
And it's a bit of a beast.
It's like it feels like a Tour de France climb. The gradient and the distance on it.
Yeah, it's steady gradient.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Yeah, it's pretty constant, isn't it?
Yes.
But it does go on because you're going down it, you're proper tanky going down there.
I once ended up in the observatory car park. I was going that fast. I just couldn't get round the bend. I don't know. I just couldn't go round the bend at all. And I just ended up going up the driveway to the observatory. Yeah. Must have been doing about 60-70k an hour.
I think I've clocked my fastest ever speed on a bike
on that
down from the Baycup. Baycup going down to Todmorden.
The other way is pretty faster because it's just a long straight chute going down into Baycup.
It is. It's
and then it's pretty steady, isn't it, all the way till Belmont and Rivington after that.
Yeah, it's not bad at all through
Rawtenstall.
Yeah, Rawtenstall, Ramsbottom.
And then a nice climb out of Chapeltown.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another beautiful climb.
That area there is pretty much Sunday club time, I think.
Yeah.
Because on the climb, there's so many little groups going past.
You won't go on
you've been catching them all, wouldn't you?
No, I wasn't.
On Sunday morning, though, they'll all been out, won't they?
Yeah.
Sunday morning, they're all fresh, and you like you had over 700k.
They'll all be there going to. You've been on the ride today, this morning. Yeah. How far have you been? Currently about 780k. Like, we've done 40 on. Your legs are killing.
couldn't keep up with the lads that had been dropped on the climb. You know, there's always a group that.
Yeah.
That's
So,
So I couldn't hold them.
You're joking? Yeah. Were you?
Yeah, I think I was feeling it by then.
No way.
Yeah.
Because like I said earlier, I've just got this impression in my head that you were just coasting round it, just like, this is just so easy. You know what I mean?
No, that was tough.
John is human after all.
Well, we've got to establish that, yeah.
We have.
Yeah.
We're going to get to that bit.
Got the tests.
Yeah, luckily you didn't have to go over Sheep House Lane. You turned left and you went,
Yeah.
and then you went over Matchmore
Matchmore, yes.
instead. Yeah.
Yeah, there's, well, if I go back to sort of Bake Up area, I asked Mike to come out and meet me somewhere, just as like
just to make sure you're all right.
just a bit of someone to talk to as well, a bit of a mental boost. And he said, I can't, I'm doing family stuff today. It kind of left it at that. So, I've no one to ride with now. But every rider that came down, I thought, red kit, Mike has red kit.
Yeah.
That's Mike. Oh, it's not. Blue kit, Mike has blue kit. Oh, it's not. And then climbing up Scout Road to Matchmore, there's a rider coming down in yellow kit. At this point, I've given up. It's not Mike.
Yeah, you don't have yellow kit.
His Wigan voice comes out and he's waving.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Nice one.
Such a pick.
Yeah. Were you ready for that?
Yeah. After it's just the amount of time, isn't it?
Do you not talk to yourself and stuff when you're riding? Sing happy songs and stuff like that?
Yeah, sometimes songs come out or just abuse.
Yeah.
Keep going,
Yeah,
useless.
yeah. Well, I don't way around me. I've got this thing in my head. I said to my mate, because my dad says it when he's running, if you can't hold conversation, you're going too fast. So I have it in mind, if I can't sing, I'm going too quick. You know what I mean? So if I start getting like missing and when I'm trying to sing, then I back off a bit so I can belt one out. Yeah. So Mike come out, pick you up.
Yeah.
Got over Matchmore through Horwich, and then through Livingston. Hopefully, Rider GPS didn't send you onto the gravel roads around the castle.
Oh no.
Honestly. That's another conversation that somebody has to have with Dan about being a route planner. Because it's one of my swear words, is just making a route that doesn't have any details.
It could be worse than you could be using Komoot.
I could.
Which just takes you.
Oh no, I decide where you're going when I make a route. I decide where you're going. And then the nasty kick there is Angler's Arc.
Yeah, they're all local roads. I know the climbs.
Yeah, you know exactly how much power to put down, get over that.
Feel it, yeah.
And then it's Salisbury Bottoms and Mellor.
Yes.
That's a nasty little
steep little
stabby bastards.
Yeah, some good ones there, isn't there?
And then finally we go over Nick of Pendle on the tough side.
Yeah.
And then we don't do Cowark, do we? No, we don't.
No, Cowark.
But we go through Clitheroe.
Threaten to go over
Waddyfell. Take a sharp left.
And is it that crossroad or something like that?
Yeah.
Take a sharp left, and then Birdie Brow.
Birdie Brow. Do you know what?
Yes, Birdie Brow.
I
love Birdie.
Yeah, you know it's lap home stretch to I didn't
swear.
No, I didn't mind that one at all.
No.
Especially now they've researched.
I had a few that swore at me, after that. Yeah, there's only 5 if you finished, but a few of you swore at me after that. Why did you put that in there? And I'm like, it wouldn't be held to North West if it's a flat finish, would it?
It's best climb round here.
Yeah.
It's my favourite climb in the whole world, Birdie Brow. You can stick
I could have sent you left and carried on up Jeffrey Hill, or sent you into Ribchester and made you do a full Jeffrey. You had to do a full Jeffrey last time, didn't you?
Yeah.
From the bottom of Ribchester all the way to the top.
It's excellent.
Yeah.
But no, that Birdie Brow, for me, when I saw that on this edition, I was like,
We'd been over much steeper before then.
Yeah.
But it's just
I think it's just a sting in the tail with that, but it was a dyno to the finish after that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Well, I personally would have sent us right after New Drop and done Jeffrey again and up past golf club on way down. You know what I mean? But Dan said to me,
I do want to finish every edition of Help the Northwest with a downhill.
Right.
I think there's something nice about just being able to freewheel and decompress before the finish line. Like you experienced it with the Clitheroe, with Waddy Fell. Like, for me, that's just poetry. That just
it was
freewheeling down Waddy Fell, finishing.
But it was dark when I was finishing, and there is some dirty potholes on that descent. You know what I mean? And I was getting a bit sketchy.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not over when you're at the top of Birdie Brow, is it?
No, there's
still
a few.
couple of little.
Yeah, after the new drop, there's a stabby bastard, isn't there, going up to the farmhouse?
Well, even after Birdie, you do a couple of downhills and downhills before you get to new drop, and then and again the road surface going past that farm on left, and it's horrible, isn't it? That?
Yeah.
So you do give us 5 minutes of. Not even 5. A minute of downhill.
Yeah. Going past Reservoir, that's about it, isn't it? Yeah. Going past Reservoir, that downhill there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And then you'd finished, and we all questioned you.
Yeah.
And then you told us what you ate on the ride. What did you eat on the ride?
What did you set off with, John?
I set off with 4 Nutri-Grain bars. And Dan gave me two bars as well with the kit.
Outdoor Provisions, who kindly help sponsor the events and make sure that we got it over the line.
Almost ripped my cap out. Too.
Take that up with them.
So 4 Nutri-Grain bars and 2 protein.
Outdoor Provision energy bars.
Outdoor Provision. So that's what you set off with, and that were it.
That was it. That's all the food I had.
Where did you when did you finish then?
I had
Cross-agreed.
I did have a Nutri-Grain bar after Cross-agreed. Is it Bentham, just the other side of Bentham, between Bentham and Ingleborough. Is it Ingleborough? Ingleton, that's it, isn't it? Yeah.
Ingleborough's a hill.
Yeah. So I had first Nutri-Grain bar there, and then that was it then till Reeth, when I got a sausage roll, a flapjack, and filled my water bottles up. Little old bakery.
Yeah.
What did you put in your bottles? Was it just water?
Just water, just water in my bottles.
This isn't anything. Do you only really drink water?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
I don't deal with electrolytes and that. I don't.
No, I can't.
A bit of salt and do.
Yeah, I struggle. I find that I need to wee a lot if I drink energy powder type drinks. Personally, yeah. So
when I'm racing, I've had stuff in, but usually it is just water, even when I'm racing.
Yeah, coffee, caffeine.
No, don't.
No,
don't like anything. Don't like mucky water.
No tea.
No.
Don't like a mash.
Chocolate's all right. Marshmallows and cream.
No way. So sausage roll at Reef and a flapjack.
Yeah, I put flapjack in my pocket. I served my sausage roll and my filled bottles up.
And then
next food.
Next stop was can I think what it's called?
The pub. Burnley Castle.
Would have been. Was it Burnley Castle? Can't think what it's called. But there's stopped at a co-op and got 2 litre bottle of water because I'd fit empty my bottles again by then. So I filled those up, downed as much as I could, scrunched the bottle up and put it under the bungees on my saddlebag. What was left. And then that was it to the bike shop. And then he gave me, at the bike shop, by the time I got there, I'd worn out my brake pads. You
were one of, I think you were the only rider on caliper brakes actually, were you? You might have been one of... Cameron or Daniel was on caliper brakes as well, I think, and there might have been one more rider. Yeah, but you were one of the handful on caliper brakes in this apocalyptic weather.
Yeah, it soon disappeared with the muck off the roads and
the
wet.
Yeah.
They just
and having to brake a lot more because it is wet and slippery.
Yeah. On the descent, I could feel my levers getting close to my bars.
It's horrible feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adjusting them as I'm going along after the descent.
So you got some new brake pads. So your bike got fed. What did you get fed?
he's handing out jelly babies.
Yeah, little bags of jelly babies, isn't he? Yeah.
Have a nice warm up.
Yeah.
So, at the shop there, I got my emergency rain cape out, just another layer because it was getting cold then. Put my gloves on, got my gloves out in the bag, and jelly babies. So set off from there, and then what was it then? Is it Alston?
Alston,
Yeah.
yeah.
Alston, there's
Before,
the spa there, isn't there, Alston?
yeah. Famous cycling spa, that one.
Is it
Yeah.
before Hartside?
Mhm.
Yeah. So stopped there, got another refill, bottles, and I get some fruit and a 7-Up or something like that.
Right.
And then that was it till.
So no food, just drink.
Yes, fruit. I got some
fruit, yeah.
What did I? Can't think now.
Next one will be Keswick, will it?
Yeah, Keswick. Pizza in Keswick.
Pizza in Keswick.
2 pizzas in Keswick, was it?
2 pizzas in Keswick.
What pizzas? I want to know what the topping was. See, I reckon there's some special mushrooms on
EPO. EPO laced pizza.
A meat feast and ham and pineapple.
Yeah, were you ready for them? Yeah, I bet you
Well,
were.
I thought I was, but when I started eating, I managed to get a slice and a half down in about an hour. Just nothing would go down.
Do you think that's the reason? Because one of the myths around you finishing is the minimum dietary intake, should we say, that you had. Do you think that was just something that might have happened during the event, or like your body was struggling just to digest food?
I think it was. No, I don't usually eat that much. If I do anything around up to 150 miles, I usually just have my emergency Nutrigrain.
Yeah.
That's all.
Just a Nutrigrain for 150 mile route.
Yeah.
Do you have a big feed before you go? Or?
Did you do
I
it?
can eat a mix.
Did you carb load before you in a week
That night
approaching?
before or what?
No, not
Because I ate like a pig to put a bit of weight on. Because I'm usually around 73. I think it was 75 morning at race. You know what I mean? Because I've just been eating, so I knew, and when I bonk badly,
But,
so.
Yeah, but you didn't bonk during the...
Well, this is what I'm thinking about you saying, about your head. Because your brain only works on glucose, doesn't it? So when you were nodding and having them moments, could that be because you've not had enough glucose? Because if you think about it, from what you're saying, the only glucose you're getting is from your Nutrigrain, slow release from Flapjack,
and some fast release from the jelly babies.
Yeah, and a bit of fizzy pop to give you. Other than that, you've not had much sugar there, really, have you?
No.
That might be why.
Maybe.
But then at the same time, it still doesn't explain how you managed to waz round in 42 hours. You would think you'd be well juiced up on carbs to be able to do that.
It was a bit overfoot. It was 52, wasn't it?
No, 42.
No, because you finished at 2:30 on Sunday, and you set off at 9:15 on the Friday. So 9:15.
Hours, is that just my bad
I think
maths?
that's right. Would it be?
Yeah, it's about 42 hours, isn't it? I'm
So
sure.
that's 52, isn't it? Because for 24 will be 9:15 on Saturday morning. Sunday morning at 9:15 will be 48 hours, which is 2 days. So it's 52 hours and 15 minutes, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
It's good your mum a bookkeeper, like trade, isn't it?
this is time numbers.
Yeah, it's 12s and not decimal,
12s and
isn't it?
60s, yeah. They need to decimalise time, make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, so going back to that my thinking is that might have been why you were having them nodding moments, because you're not had enough glucose in you. But how can I tell you about how to ride a bike?
Did you have anything after the Keswick pizza to eat then? Because that's still, you're not even hit the halfway mark, have you?
No. So I just about managed to push down two slices in Keswick.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the morning, I stopped at the lakeside in a disabled toilet.
Yeah.
use the pizza boxes as my bed.
Yeah.
And
multi-purpose, these pizzas, aren't they?
yeah, and then in the morning, I was hungry then. I think it was just with riding, blood's not going to your stomach, is it? You're not digesting.
And if you're in that position, you're squashed up, aren't you? So
I think I smashed 6 slices in the morning then before I set off. And 9 bottles of water.
And did you stop for food again after then? Or did you just go off the pizza that you had left? And
because you did stop in Ambleside to get you tired, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't. I had planned to stop to get some food in Ambleside, but I just got going. It's too busy. There's so many people around. There's nowhere but was jumping out for somewhere to stop.
Yeah.
So that was, I had the remainder of the pizza in my bag in the back, and I just had slices every so often then between.
Right. Wow. All the way to the end.
Tank fast sticks at Sabden.
Topmorden I stopped at, would have been, because would have been Tan Hill. I got filled a bottle with Coke and I filled a bottle with water at Tan Hill, and then everywhere was shut then there was nothing till Keighley, and looked at the co-op in Keighley. It said it was something like 6 a.m. then, and it said opens at 7. I'm not hanging about it. I'll go to Hebden Bridge.
Yeah.
There'll be a co-op. Well, I know there's a co-op in Hebden Bridge. Yeah. I'll go there. So over to Hebden Bridge. It's then 7:30, 8 o'clock. Opens at 11. So
there's some all night garages on that road, the flat road from Hebden Bridge, isn't there, to Topmorden?
Yeah.
That's where I ended up stopping.
Is it? Yeah.
There's
a photo of Team Forgot the Kits at one of them garages.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a shell with a long disc, I think it is.
Yeah.
I got filled my bottles up with a Coke and a little breakfast pot with oats and yogurt in it.
Right, yeah.
I got that hit the spot.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Pizza again at the checkpoint at Anglesark.
Yeah.
And finally opened my bag of Tang Fast Sticks at the bottom of Nick of Bendel.
Yeah. You need something when you're looking at that though, don't you? When you know what's going on.
That is a nasty side as well.
Yeah.
It is a nasty side. So what training did you do prior to Hell of the North West?
Well, for the original date, I did.
Is this for April?
Yeah, for April last
April
year.
2020.
2020.
So when it was meant to happen.
Yeah, I did quite a lot of basement training around longer rides, 100-mile rides consecutively, day after day after day, just to get some endurance. But so I did a lot of training for that, and then lockdown hit. You said you weren't going to do the event as well.
Well, I was. Well, to be honest, it was such a fast-changing situation.
Yeah.
Last year, I was really hoping that, because the way I look at Health Northwest, it's a very anti-social cycling event. But on the flip side of the coin, as Fuzz, you experienced this year, there does need to be a safety net in place. So if everything was shut down and we had the weekend that we had, and you couldn't find any refuge, that could have genuinely put somebody's life in danger. So I kind of met a point safety with Health Northwest, which was that the COVID number had to be down because we had to, fun can happen another day. No. People's safety has to be a paramount, really, especially people travelling from around the country here. You have to easily be able to get food and refuge, so shops have to be open, cafes and pubs have to be open, and you have to be able to get emergency accommodation as well. So that's why it ended up getting pushed from April through to May, because the bed and breakfasts and that weren't open at that point.
There's lots of places around riding where if you get stuck and you're caught out and it's bad weather,
you're screwed.
You're in trouble, aren't you?
And we wouldn't have expected that weather when we designed the event.
No.
But we got it.
Yeah. So you just longer. Do you train with power? Or,
Yes.
Yeah, power meter on you. Did you have a power meter running? What were your average watts for, right?
I did I set off with the power meter.
Did it run out of battery?
The rain killed it.
The rain killed it. It
Did
was
it, yeah.
a little packet of water by the end of it. I opened took the battery cover off at the end. it gave
No
up.
way.
Gave up after that first day.
Yeah. So you train because I when I'm indoors, I'll do interval sessions with power and heart rate. But when I'm outdoors doing ultra stuff, I just use heart rate because I want to know. I know if my heart's at a certain rate, I can go all day long. You know what I mean? So I presume you know I can ride at so many watts and just keep banging it out all day. Yeah. Is it? Do you use heart rate as well, or do you not really bother with it?
Not really.
You just know where you're at with your power.
Yeah.
So you're just riding to feel then when you're riding.
Yeah.
There's not a lot you can do other than listen to your body on something that long.
Yeah.
Well,
And also try and resist the temptation to smash it as
yeah.
well. Right?
Well,
Did you find that you were, like you're saying, on the climb and people were dropping you? Were you just slow, steady and just not stopping and faffing?
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah.
The worst thing I've found on long rides is when you get to a point where you do 5-10 miles and then you stop in for a bit of a break and look around.
Yeah.
You just have to keep going, even try and avoid cafes, and because once bum hits the seat, you're there for 2 hours and you don't know you don't realise it feels like half an hour.
That's why when Dan said, you've got to stop and take photos, I'm reading that and I'm thinking, I ain't stopping and taking photos. And you can disqualify me at with it. I ain't stopping and taking photos because I'm useless with my phone and stuff anyway. So that involves me having to stop, faff around for 5 minutes trying to get camera setting on, and it just ruins all my momentum. And I just don't like stopping. Cafe stops. Don't like doing cafe stops when I'm on a ride. Just want to ride. So no. Do you have a natural instinct when you're riding, when you see a climb, to go batshit crazy and smash it, or are you quite reserved and able to go, no, I'll just tap it up this one? Because I've had to rein that in. Because normally I get to a climb and I'm like, and I start hammering it, get to the top, sucking stem like, you know what I mean? But I've had to gradually, with doing the longer rides, say to myself, just calm down, just steady away as you go, Or you naturally, because you seem like quite a calm guy anyway, or do you have that batshit instinct of climb, smash it? Yeah, full gas. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did you have to rein that back, or did you hit the climbs when you on hell? Did you?
I pushed. I did push a bit more, but no.
Not to go anywhere close to the threshold or all that.
No.
Not that you're grasping oxygen at the top.
No.
Yeah.
Because that's why I look at my heart rate, you see. You know what I mean? I know I'm alright, I can hold 170 for quite a while, you know what I mean? But anything above that, I know I'm going to be suffering for a good half an hour afterwards to get it down.
You're burning more petrol than you're gaining miles.
So I need to know what the input, what's going on inside, but again, I was curious about that, whether you train with power or, you know what I mean, heart rate, or just feel on ride,
Yeah, train with power, and when it is working on longer rides, if there's a nice flat stretch, long, get my head down stretch, I know what number I should be able to do for.
Does that come with your racing experience over years?
Yeah, just riding for a long time. Yeah.
Do you train indoors at all?
No.
No Zwift, no.
No, I can't do that.
Can you not?
No. The reason I ride my bike is to be out and
out and about.
Yeah.
So you don't mind the weather. You'll go out if you wake up in the morning.
Clearly, he doesn't mind the weather.
Open curtains, it's pissing down, blowing a hoolie. You're like, just get my jacket on.
No, not quite.
Because I do that and I go Zwift today, and I'll just jump on and just tap it out on there for a couple of hours,
It depends where motivation is. If I know I've got races coming up and I've got training to do, I want to do a good winter, I'll be out in it no matter what.
Do you have a winter bike?
Yes. Yeah.
So what, for those, because Hell of the Northwest next year is going to be in September time, it's moving to September next year. But for those wanting
Shit weather again. Fucking shit weather again. What are you in December? Fuck it. It's pitch black all day as well.
got a nice event in December already. You can do that for 536 hours.
No, don't bother with that.
But what advice would you give those? You can both answer this actually. What advice would you give to
I'm in no
those?
position to give advice.
Well, you're a third successful at riding Hell of the Northwest.
Oh no.
Yeah. And you've entered TC.
No, one of the reasons I've come today to ask John questions to find out how to ride Hell of the Northwest next year. You know what I mean?
What advice would you give those that are thinking about entering Hell of the Northwest?
I don't know. I'm not the best person to ask because I'm useless at nutrition. The training.
I'm useless at nutrition is the understatement of it. I think that's the understatement of it. So don't eat.
Yeah,
don't eat what little John A had to eat. But seriously, you must have done something right to get yourself around there. What do you think? What do you think got you around before everybody else?
I think experience, knowing what I do on. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I know how to ride all day. Because
you know how to look after yourself and keep yourself motivated and keep turning the pedals.
I know what tools I need to take to sort my bike as well. And I can pack light because I know I can fix things and get around. Don't need.
Like I say, the more longer rides you've done, again, whenever you physically might come into any difficulties, mentally might come into any difficulties, mechanically might, after doing it so many times, you know how to react and how to respond, don't you, when you hit those points? Because again, sometimes when you don't know, you can have an instant like, oh, it's all over, I'm done, I can't carry on. Get my phone out, ring me dad, come and pick me up. You know, whereas if you've been through it,
the tyre blowing out might have been that for someone.
Yeah, definitely. Because what would you do? You know, again, as soon as you said it, I thought gel wrappers in tube, get you to, like you say, get to Ambleside, and hopefully, you know. I mean, because I'm like Sherpa Tensing and I pack everything. I always have a spare tyre. I always take a spare tyre with me because I'm likely to have an accident at some point. I tend to do it all the time. So. Or a lie down, as my mate likes to call it.
Would you do anything different next year to what you've done this time?
I think I'd carry less if I could. It was still a weighty bag and a lot of the stuff in it I didn't need.
How heavy was your bike? Of everything on, do you know?
I don't know.
Was it less than 10 kilos?
Would you be able to give me a pack list that we can put in the description?
Yeah,
I brought the stuff with me.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Wicked. I'd love to see that and I'd take a picture of it and even take
Is that your pack list? Have you got any notes that you need to share with us? You want to share with us?
No, that was just a map of points, so I knew the names of places.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
But I've brought about. I didn't put the stuff away after the Northwest.
So we can have a.
No, I kept it together because I've been meaning to do a bit of a kit.
Do it. Well, because I think a lot of people.
To be honest,
I'll find that useful because, like I say, I carry way too much shit. You know what I mean? And it's. I don't know why. I should know better now, but I just do it.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, if you unzip that frame bag there, they sort you out for about a week. You know what I mean? You know, all eventualities is in there.
Yeah. But you're confident enough to ride how you can ride and look after yourself. Because I think that's the biggest thing is just having the confidence to pack so light and be able to still keep yourself safe, really.
It's like, the first time I went abroad with my bike on a training holiday, I took everything, I had extra bags and bike bag was bursting at the seams and everything, and then now I go with just my bike bag, all my clothes, everything I need is in just a 30 kilo bike bag.
Fantastic.
It's just that experience.
thank you so much for taking the time to come
thank
out
you, John.
and share your experience of Health to Northwest with us. If you want to go and get your bag, we'll do a roll at the end of this with you opening everything that you carried out. It should only be a 30-second clip.
Break it.
Yeah, but no, really appreciate it. Again, congratulations on managing to absolutely
Nice one, John.
smash Health to Northwest like you did. We have got a trophy that you get to keep till the next event. There, we're just waiting for your plaque to come. John Allen didn't actually get to keep hold of it, although his name's on the trophy. But congratulations on being the first non-winner of the non-race that is Health to Northwest.
Are you going to go faster next year?
I'd like to. Depends on the weather.
What time do you realistically think is possible?
I don't know. I don't know.
I
You did
reckon,
52.
well, I reckon 50's on.